Yeah. Today I'm going to cover a question I get a lot. How do I calm down before a fight? Or why do I freeze before a fight? Basically, how do I make the pre-fight experience a little less crappy feeling? Now, in order to overcome this situation and become a little bit more fearless, you have to understand exactly what's causing the way that you're feeling. And it all has to do with the way your brain communicates with your body during your fight or flight response. I'm sure you've heard of this before. Basically, anytime your brain interprets a threat, whether it's a lion or a stampede or just some dude who says he's about to punch you in the face, it reacts by making a bunch of biological changes which put your body in a much better state to deal with that fight. Your bronchial tubes open up. That's your lung tubes, so to speak, the ones that deliver air and oxygen, and your veins relax. They open up, they dilate, and that allows you to pump blood to your muscle. However, your brain simultaneously shuts off your digestive system. You don't have to worry about processing that cheeseburger when you're about to throw down. So your body cuts all the blood flow off to your stomach and your guts and whatnot. And that is what is responsible for the butterflies in your stomach feeling. Your brain's telling your guts to take a couple minutes off, which allows the rest of your body to be ready. Your skin actually cuts off blood flow because back in the day when you were having a fight or flight response, it could mean you were about to have a brawl with a bear. And if your skin was getting cut and lacerated, it doesn't make sense to have it bleed out. Additionally, it'll make you look a little pale. Also, at the same time, your sweat glands open up because your body wants to be ready to cool itself down. Can't be overheating when you're fighting or running away. So now you're pale, you're clammy, and you feel sick to your stomach, which is obviously kind of a conglomerate of shittiness. Now, the big problem with this is that most people immediately assume that something is wrong with them. They feel this crappy feeling and they feel like their body's about to shut down. They become afraid, and that even makes it worse. It compounds the problem. There's nothing wrong with feeling this way. You're supposed to feel this way. That's how your body gets itself ready to defend itself, no matter what may come. Bear attack, bar fight, doesn't matter. This is survival mode, and it's how your body gears itself up. It's a good thing. Acknowledging that and understanding it is step one in overcoming this process. Another phenomenon that people report to me a lot is freezing. They'll say something like, yo, Trav, a couple of guys got in my face, they threatened me, I just froze. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. You see this phenomenon in nature a lot as well. Think of it like a deer in headlights. A deer sees your car and sees the headlights, and it freezes in place because it thinks your car is about to eat it. It thinks your car is a predator ready to snack on some delicious deer. So it stays still and it stays in place in an attempt to not attract any attention to it. It thinks that by not moving, it's going to slide under the radar. Now, if someone gets in your face and starts threatening you, your brain interprets the threat. Your fight or flight response is kicked into gear. Freezing is just one of those things that might happen depending on your particular reaction. It doesn't mean you're a pussy. That's just how your body reacts to a threat. The real thing we need to focus on is how to turn down the volume knob on your fight or flight response so that you don't freeze, you don't feel too nauseous and don't feel too clammy, you don't feel too weak, and that you can act in the situation and you can act in such a way that's going to make you proud. Now, I hate to do it, but I gotta drop some more science on you. The part of your nervous system that controls your fight or flight response is called the sympathetic nervous system. The name doesn't matter, just know that there's a certain section of your nervous system that is active when you start freaking out and interpreting a threat. Now, if you're just kicking it watching TV or hanging out with your girl or doing whatever the fuck it is that you do, you're in a state of relaxation, and that's the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, one of the best tips I ever got in my career training as a fighter came from Phil Miglerese from Balance Studios in Philadelphia. One of the things that Phil told me was, if you take super huge deep breaths, completely filling your lungs, even to the point that you fill up your belly with air and then exhale completely, you will relax. But why? You start to disengage the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, and you start to re-engage the parasympathetic nervous system. Every organ in your body has little receptors all over it. Your stomach, when you're full, essentially senses the stretch of your stomach, and it sends messages to your brain to be like, yo dude, I'm full. Stop stuffing food down your gullet. Your lungs also have a similar response. except when you start stretching your lungs repeatedly, you take these huge deep breaths, whatever hormonal messages your lungs put out into your body start to trigger that parasympathetic or relaxation state of your nervous system. It's literally just by stretching your lungs, you start to counteract the fight or flight response. There also seems to be an element involved with the polarization of oxygen in your bloodstream and yada yada yada. The bottom line is it's good to breathe really deep. It takes the edge off of the sympathetic nervous system. It puts you in a state of relaxation where you're much more likely to act. You're much more likely to be confident and be able to do what you need to do instead of feeling debilitated or interpreting the threat so intensely that you just freeze. Take huge, super deep breaths. Relax yourself, and then you can overcome the freezing, the fear, the butterflies, all of the pre-fight jitters, and all that bullshit.
Now, as you become more confident in your actual fighting strategy, the degree of emotion that you feel will be drastically suppressed. So train hard!